tier 1 white map. Here we go. I'm using the same thing I used for the last video for Acts, and it's a one-shot. All right. How about a tier 2? Let's get up to... wait. Okay, that was a one-shot. All right, here we go. Tier 2 blacksmith. 10... And how does this work with a 2-stager? Whoa! Wow, if I would have had more duration, I think I would have kept going through the stages. All right, how about a T3? They unfortunately took a little bit of damage from my rune graft. Okay, probably twice now, but let's see. Should be pretty easy to get some T3 one-shots, looks like. Okay, I think this is my first Breach Lord. I'm in a tier 4. Oh, it is. Okay, here we go. All right, here we go. Okay, 10. Okay, let's see if I can one-shot. Oh my gosh, wow. This is still same from the campaign. One hit, killed him in one. All right, T3, Castle Ruins. I think this should be a pretty clean one here. Let's do it here. Oop. And, okay. And yep, that's easy. All right, how about the T4 version of one of the hardest bosses to one-shot in the campaign? Let's see here. Here we go. Boom. 10. Oh, easy peasy. Look at that. All right, everybody. We're going to end this intro here with a tier 5 clean. I don't know if this is a multi-stager or not. I don't remember the last time I did this one. All right, here we go. 10 stages. And regardless of whether that's a one-shot or not, oh, okay, well, it was. Okay. Either way, we're going to go ahead and talk about this build a little bit here and start prepping it for yellow maps. All right, everybody. So let's go ahead and talk a little bit about this character that I've been playing with so far and how I've been getting these one-shots. I basically haven't changed anything since the campaign pretty much, except for some defensive gear. And since I went in gory detail through all that stuff in the last video, let's just go through it real quick this time. All right, so here's how I'm getting like 2 million damage per hit that I'm doing with Flameblast over the course of the Ignite. All right, so Flameblast, level 19, no quality. By the way, in PoB, I just imported all this stuff in my current snapshot of where I'm at, basically just working through white maps after that campaign. And I will go ahead and put a link to PoB in case anybody's interested. I'm going to basically snapshot the character currently, having just one-shotted basically everything in white maps, all the bosses. And then I'll also snapshot at the end of the video. I think I'm going to try to do all the yellow maps in this video as well. Right now in PoB, a fully charged Flame Blast does Ignite damage of 400,000 damage per second, and the Ignite lasts for 5 seconds. Okay, so 400k times 5, it's pretty much right on the dot, 2 million, assuming I've got all the settings right in PoB. All right, so we're hitting with a fully maxed out Flame Blast. All right, and then since I'm doing Ignite damage, I just went for basically the 2 most damaging Ignite supports, and according to PoB, those 2 are going to be burning damage, 33% more burning damage, and deadly ailments for 43% more damage with ailments. Ignite damage, I don't know if I need to say Ignite over burning to be more specific. And then I've just chosen this Ignite proliferation support, which is 23% more damage. And then whenever I'm bossing, when I'm just running the map, I do Ignite proliferation, which is pretty much essential to if you want to actually use this skill for clearing, which you really probably shouldn't use this skill for clearing, to be honest. I said this in my last video, you should be using a secondary skill for clear. But if you were to do it with Flame Blast, you're going to definitely want Ignite proliferation for sure. If you didn't have the Ignite proliferation, it would be absolutely miserable just doing clearing stuff. All right, so for my 4th link, if I'm killing a boss, is going to be Infused channeling if I'm trying to get that boss one shot. All right, the first thing we did is we hit our gloves with the special essence that gives you, as you can see, socketed gems deal 175 to 225 added fire damage. All right, this should eventually be upgraded into probably a 6th link, I'm assuming. But since I haven't had to do it, I'm one-shotting every boss still. All right, we're just leaving everything as is. All right, next, and the key here is that I have become an assassin. The assassin gets to take the Mystical Infusion node, which gives you base spell critical chance of spells is equal to that of the main hand weapon. My main hand weapon is a Trypanon, which has 100% crit chance. So all of my spells have 100% crit. All right, so let's get some nice juicy crit multi. How are we going to do that? We are going to use Marylene's Fallacy. So it gives you 235 crit multi. I have since bought a perfect one, by the way, which I'm going to switch into. And then what you do is you quality it up. You can see on the quality, it says quality critical modifier. So you're going to use the, I believe it's unstable catalyst to get it to 20% quality. That gives you all the way up to 282 global critical strike multiplier. Absolutely massive. And you start with 50 crit multiplier. I've also got a little bit of crit multi on the tree. If you want to go through all the different nodes on the tree, you can just look at the PoB and take a look at it. It's not quite optimized yet. I basically just took some fire nodes, some LE damage nodes, a bunch of different life on the tree, and I've also got a couple crit nodes. This is giving me a bunch of crit multi. This is probably the best crit wheel overall in the game, I'm guessing, for this. In total, it's like 50 crit multi plus 25 against unique enemies, which are the only ones that are hard to one-shot, so it sounds good. I had to take every strength node I could possibly find because you need a lot of strength strength for this build. So I took 30 strength here. I also took the 30 strength here and some other random strength nodes. All right, the only other thing really worthy of note is perfect agony, obviously. So our crits are being applied to our ignites and not to the hit damage. So we're basically all in on ignites on this build. It's kind of a meme build, so my defenses still are really not that great, but just kind of having fun, still kind of memeing, doing the one-shots, as is probably going to become a little bit of a theme on this channel. And we end up with crit multi of 511%. This could be used with any spell in the game early on, assassin, put on the Trypanon and the Marylene's fallacy, and you can basically play whatever spell you want and deal crazy damage. I'm going to let you're going to have to figure out the survivability aspect, but if you just want to go full glass cannon, it's honestly pretty fun and quite powerful. The only final point I'll point out here is I do have this Cloak of Flame, which also gives me some pretty massive ignite duration. So right now it's giving 60% increased ignite duration. We also have about 50% ignite duration on the tree. All right, so I mentioned, again, 400k ignite damage on according to Path of Building. Our ignites right now are 5 seconds long, according to PoB also, because we have ignite duration increase, but we also have deal damage faster. Deal damage faster actually makes the ignite last for less time. So the total amount of damage is the same with faster ignites. And since I'm trying to kill them, I'm trying to hit them one time and kill them. Making the ignites last longer actually deals more total damage per hit. So you will occasionally see me for like the harder bosses. I might go ahead and swap the Cloak of Flame, put it on here. And then if I did this, it's probably going to go up to about 6 seconds, something like that. So you're looking right at about 2.5 million if I'm wearing the claim. So again, I'm just memeing here. I might switch that chest out for some of the harder bosses that are a little harder to one-shot with a little more HP. All right, and with that said, I'm going to do a couple tiny upgrades here. Now starting into yellow maps, I'm going to basically just upgrade a bunch of the jewels. These are all so cheap right now. It's crazy. So I actually went ahead and just bought a straight up level 21 corrupted Flameblast with 20 quality. It was super cheap. So that should actually be a pretty significant damage boost. And because of the 20% quality, you get 11 maximum stages instead of 10. That's also a pretty significant damage boost. I think it should come out to basically about 10% if I'm not mistaken. And we'll go up to 11 stages from now on. All right, same story, Deadly Ailment, super cheap, level 21, 20% quality. And Flameblast, actually with 20% quality, is really strong as well, because Flameblast also, I was using an unqualified Flameblast, but Flameblast with quality actually gives you duration on your ignites as well. And again, that's contributing a lot to our total damage here. All right, so I'm gonna start using that as well. And then Marylene's Fallacy, the best you can possibly do on a Marylene's Fallacy, if I'm not mistaken, is this perfect 240%, quality up 20%. It's gonna give you 288% global crit strike multiplier. All right, so I will also go ahead and anoint that. All right, everybody, let's go ahead and see if in this video, we can go ahead and one-shot all the rest of the yellow bosses. So tier 6 through tier 10. All right, here we go. First, tier 6. Oh, and we got a Maven here also. Okay, here we go. All right, not perfectly clean, but it is going to be kind of a one-shot here. All right, here we go. Tier 6, and we've got the Gray Plague. All right, here goes. Let's get it up to 11. Should be full health, and... Yep, takes a minute, but that's a one-shot. Yep, that was clean. By the way, I've now realized I probably should have just been doing this with Maven's invitations. All right, I'm pretty sure these bosses have the same amount of life as the regular ones, right? All right, here we go. All right, I haven't dealt any damage yet. There we go, 11. And... okay, both. Okay, both down. Oh my gosh, that's great. Okay, here we go. All right. Yep, he should be... yep, no damage dealt as well. Wow, look at that. Oh, isn't that great? One-shots all around. All right, here we go. First, T7. All right, I'm expecting a one-shot here. Let's see. All right, full health, and that's 11 stages. And one hit, and... oh, okay, that's a multi-stager. All right, it looks like it cut off at half health for the second stage, so I think that's all I can do for this one. So yeah, my PoB damage right now is about 550k for my ignite damage per second, and that's actually with the ignite proliferation in, not with the infused channeling in. So it's actually going to be about 580k actually whenever I switch the gems for the bosses. All right, we'll do one more T7 here. I think this should be a multi-stager. So, but yeah, whatever. Let's just go ahead and do it. And yep, okay. Oh, look at that. Oh my gosh. Wait, it was still going. So I think it was invulnerable. So I'm going to go and count that one. I'm pretty sure they're invulnerable when they're underground. We'll move on to the T8s. It's fine. But yeah, so about 550k DPS ignites with just kind of what I'm doing with leveling, which sometimes I forget to switch them out. And actually, I forgot to put my Cloak of Flame on, so that definitely would have been a one-shot. That's crazy, even through the invulnerability, which I'm pretty sure, I think it has. And then about 580k ignite for about 6 seconds whenever I switch to the bossing gems. All right, here we go. First T8. All right, where's the boss? All right, there we go. Okay, and get it up to 11. Boom. And easy peasy. Look at that. Boom. One shot. Whoa. All right, here we go. Let's get one more T8 in here. Okay, here we go. And 11. Okay. And looks like, yep, easy peasy. And this was actually a double boss. All right, there's the second one. All right, full health. Here we go. 11. Boom. And where's he at? And there it goes. Okay, that's it. All right, here we go. Tier 8. This should be pretty clean. Here we go. Calderis, and this is actually, I didn't swap out my gems or my body armor, and even with neither of those swapped out, still it's a one-shot. Crazy. All right, how about a tier 8 Maven's Invitation? All right, boom, and all right, he's gonna die. All right, how about this guy? Get it up to 11. Boom. Oh, I think I hit both of them. All right, that one's dead. That one didn't have the curse on it, the wing death, so it didn't die. So the curse was needed on that one. Oh, let's grab this guy here. Whoa, whoa. And yeah, it looks like the curse is needed for... Oh, okay, I guess I think I one-shot that one. All right, here we go. My first tier 9 of the league. Now, no matter what happens here, I'm going to go ahead and upgrade for the final tier 10s, regardless of whether this is a clean one-shot or not. I'm thinking one of these times here... Uh-oh, uh-oh. Uh-oh. Okay, 11. Let's see. Okay, it's all going to depend on the duration on this one. And, oh my gosh. All right, everybody, let's do some final upgrading here. So the goal of this video was just to show basically how, while you're kind of leveling up early through the league, working your way through maps, how it is possible to basically kill everything in one hit. Final reminder that this is kind of a meme build. It's not particularly great. The defenses are basically terrible. That's why it's awful. So the defenses need to be worked out. But again, if I played at a future league, maybe I'll go ahead and make a kind of more comprehensive guide and not just some of these kind of little meme videos here. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is if we use this Cloak of Flame to get the huge duration on the ignites, we can go ahead and upgrade the one we got. So I went ahead and bought a near perfect one. This has 75% increased ignite duration, which is a perfect roll. So that's going to be a pretty significant increase to the total amount of damage we do per hit in one ignite. The past one was 59% increased ignite duration. By the way, everything I bought was still pretty cheap. I don't even think I've still spent a divine on this character, and yet it's killing everything in one hit, which is pretty cool. All right, the second thing I want to do, I actually want to try out a little bit of a quality of life thing here. So I'm going to start using this Barracks Respite. I'm actually kind of interested and excited to see how this plays out with both Ignite Prolif, and also Barracks Respite gives you, when you kill an ignited enemy, inflict an equivalent ignite on each nearby enemy. I'm especially really curious how this is going to go with the breaches. To be honest, I'm not a huge fan of the ignite playstyle so far, because you kind of got to wait too long for the stuff to die, and I feel like that's one of the reasons why the defense is so bad, to be honest, is because I'm playing Ignite. Things take a little bit too long to kill. Plus, I'm also channeling too much with my Flameblast, so you end up getting hit a bunch. Whereas in the past, even if I had like barely any defenses, if you're playing Flicker Strike, it's like it just doesn't even matter because everything dies so fast you never have anything ever hit you ever. And with the Barracks Respite, we're also going to get some decent little DPS boost here because you can buy these relatively cheap Corrupted where you've got double added fire damage to spells, both on the implicit and the explicit. So that actually should be a pretty decent little boost. Everything going on here is like 5, 10, 15C as far as I can remember. Very cheap. And then if you want like one of the cheapest way to upgrade your build and you don't really know what to do and you have jewels that are probably not optimal, there is an amazing button in PoB. Thank you again to Subtractive, the YouTuber who made a great video on this, where you can basically hit a couple buttons in PoB and it'll spit out a trade search link for basically the best jewels for your build. And so I did that and I went ahead and bought these two beauties. Again, both were like 5 or 10 chaos, really crazy. All right, and so then I will let you know what our final PoB damage numbers are once I make all these changes, and we'll go ahead and finish off with our final couple, maybe one more tier, maybe 1 or 2 more tier 9s, and then a couple T10s and finish out the video. And then I will snapshot all of these things in PoB of the couple different stages throughout the video, and yeah, talk about the final damage numbers. All right, here we go. We got a T9 boss now post level up. Okay, is this a multi-stager? I'm not sure actually. Whoa. Oops. All right, well, whoa. Okay. All right, well, I completely screwed that up, but I'm calling it a one-shot. Oh my gosh. All right, let's try this one again clean. All right, here we go. Whoa. All right, well, I guess Einar is gonna... Oh, okay, there we go. And... All right, that's it. All the way from full health, easy peasy. All right, everybody, and as I start my first proper tier 10 of the league. I think I did one in Curax, but it's my first true tier 10. I just wanted to kind of give you a little taste of the clear of this. I went ahead and finally switched to an actual clear skill. I just randomly threw Fireball in there because I got tired of Flameblast. I think it's terrible, to be honest. Well, I'm sure there's people that have made Flameblast work and made it amazing for just general clearing, but anyway, for me, it's not going to be me. So I literally just didn't even think about it. Just went ahead and just threw Fireball in there, and yeah, I mean, the clear, it's basically fine, right? I mean, you could league start this, it'd be all right. Not gonna be the best, still kind of a meme build, but just wanted to show a little bit of this off. I had never played Flameblast before for just general clear as like your general skill that you're using, and yeah, I don't know, I just really didn't like it. I died over again. I'm used to playing glass cannon builds, you know, as you can see, I shoot one Fireball, everything on the screen is dead. Shoot one Fireball, everything on the screen is dead. These are kind of this is kind of how I'm kind of used to playing the game. Let's, how about a rare? Does it die in one hit to Fireball? Yeah, it's dead. Look at that. So once you switch off of Flameblast as your main skill, you know, it's going to be comfortable enough. But with Flameblast, since you see how squishy I am, with Flameblast, you know, it was just terrible. Then if you want to, you know, if you face somebody with high HP, you can always put like a decoy totem and flame blast them like you do the bosses, and it's pretty much guaranteed one-shots as well. Yeah, I just wanted to show a little bit of that, and all right, we got our first tier 10 boss. Let's try to make it a one-shot. So when I do this, I just swap infused channeling in for my ignite prolif on my flame blast. Oh, whoops, get out of here. And then I switch in my sacrificial guard. This is just YouTube memes, guys. So you would never realistically do this, but all right, here we go. Full HP Merveil. Oop. Okay, let me take care of these. Whoa. Okay, let me get rid of these guys first here. Okay, this fight was a total mess, but that's all right. Remember, everybody, for the memes, don't play this for real, but I just want to show that it's possible. I'm still just working my way. The first time on everything one shot. I don't know. I think it's funny. All right, let's put another decoy totem out. Oops. All right, so that was the first one shot. Oops, sorry everybody, I actually just remapped all my buttons, so I'm getting kind of a little screwed up here. Won't be a perfect one shot, but it will obviously kill at that point. And we'll come back, I think, for the final Maven for tier 10 and see how that goes. All right, let's see if I can get one more clean one here on a T10. Whoa. All right, here we go. Oh, that was, oh, okay. Yep, that's a one shot. I don't think I did any other damage to that guy. And here, we'll try to do everybody here. Okay, well. All right, everybody, we've come to the end of the video. This is tier 10 Maven. I'm going to be honest, probably going to be a little bit scuffed. Not going to lie. If I ever do this type of thing on a league start again, I'll try to tighten the defenses up a little bit, and maybe some folks might actually be interested in playing this kind of style. But for now, I was still basically focused on just getting as many one-shots as I can. And so here we go. Let's try it. Oh, okay. Well, that one, it's a little scuffed because I get stunned. I get stunned whenever I'm flame blasting. Oh boy. And then I can't figure out which ones are still left to try to one-shot here because it's too much chaos here. But all right. How about this girl right here? Oh, yep. And I can't get those clean 11 stagers. So yeah, it's a little scuffed. I managed to kill everything, so let's see. Where's this guy's health? He's almost dead. All right, the Devourer. Okay, the Devourer is still full HP, so let's try the Devourer here. All right, here we go. All right, okay, that was about 10 or 11 stages. And I think the Devourer managed to get away. Wait, no, that was a one-shot. That was a one-shot, okay. Okay, almost a one-shot. You had a couple HP left. And I think I had 10 stages instead of 11, so I'll leave it on that crazy scuffed ending, everybody. Takeaways from this video, just basically kind of how to scale. I think I've spent less than a divine on this character. I've got about 100 divines saved up, by the way, just doing every map one time up to this point so far. Of course, made all the money on the currency exchange, everybody. I'm not going to say that in every video, but got a whole playlist of videos where I talk about how I made so much money. I've done like 60 maps probably in total so far. So I'm averaging like over a divine per map. So I've had fun trying to kind of mess with this, basically how to one-shot everything all the way up through the campaign. But it's getting a little too scuffed at this point, so I think I'm going to end it here. I'm still going to go ahead and go for some one-shots, but I'll wait until this character is actually doing well in tier 16s after doing a bunch of upgrades, and then we'll revisit it, everybody. All right, cheers to those who stuck around. And if you're still here, let me know what you think in the comments, and see you in the next video.